No,
if
because
only certain people
here's the
are supposed
thing.
to have it?
You know,
Because if he did do that,
then he only did that
that's
to
what we
12.
talked about.
But he
Because
didn't do that
doesn't-
to you and me.
Well,
He
see,
didn't say that though.
Yeah, he did.
It's limited to the 12. He
He
said,
said to his disciples that were there, he said to you all. And then there's also in the book of Acts where he went to another group of people where he said, you all, these people here will be able to do it. And those people had the fire that came above their heads.
because they was present with him.
but
Yeah,
but
but
see,
he didn't
but
say- he
hold on,
said
you're
to
forgetting
us.
he says
Nobody
any
else
man
but
can
y'all.
do what I do. Any man can do what I do.
Where does it say that?
That's in the
Forget that.
Bible. It
Yeah.
says,
I
the things
don't-
I do, you can do even
Yeah.
greater.
I'd have to see it. And
So
I have
I'll
to see the
swear
context.
to it. I'll find it. I'll swear
Again,
to
I-
it.
Yeah,
I
you
really-
find it in that one. I'll find it in my
find it.
Gnostic version.
Yeah.
I have to find it because I'm not familiar with that verse.
I'll find it for her.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
and
find
the fact
it.
that we're supposed to be Christ-like,
That's
I
what
feel
you
like
see
we're
there.
Well, I
supposed
can.
to at least
I have
learn
web
that.
access here. I can look it up. But
Because why? I mean, if you think about why would he come back here, do all that healing, and then not want it to continue? Like, how would he not give us ways to pass that healing?
because there's a trial and error. There's trials that we have to go through on this life.
Right, but if we do go through those trials,
But I mean, here's the
how do
thing.
you know what those trials are? What
Those
if
trials are everyday life.
right?
Everyday
And what if
pain,
you go through
everyday
those
physical
trials,
struggles.
and what if you pass them? Are you then
Well,
not allowed
for this I defer to where Paul writes that he had this thorn in his side that he had to deal with something, a physical problem that he didn't really have to that he did not want to have to deal with it, and he asked God to take it away, and God said no, because through your weakness I will show you through your weakness will show everyone my strength. I will uphold the weak and make them strong.
Right.
But the thing is that
Which usually healing practitioners are, it's like the sense of doctors. You help everybody else, but yes, you suffer and you don't take as good a care of yourself. And that is where our weaknesses are that make us stronger and better doctors and better healers. Just like you're talking about right there with Jesus.
But that's different though, because that's saying that everybody can do it, and if
They can.
everybody could, that would mean that by that logic, that if a whole group of people wanted and prayed and willed something to happen, because by logic, if they're
No,
not
but
as experienced,
healing energy, right? Is life. He is energy.
Yeah, exactly,
And
but
so
I'm
it
saying
has
that
to
if-
be life energy, and
Yes.
life energy can only be used for healing. It cannot be used to make something else happen. It can simply only be used in the healing of the seen and unseen bodies, not anything else. Not like magic or anything where a group of people should say, we wish them dead. Healing energy is to regain
yeah.
a
But
state
like
of well-being.
there was a boy who did have good cancer, okay, and there was an actual song made about this, I think Matthew West. But what they wanted was there was tons of people. What happened at first, okay, is the boy was like I think maybe 3 or 4 years old, and these people wanted to give him Christmas, and all these people wanted him to survive until Christmas. So what they did was they got first the local community involved, and they got the whole city involved, and they got pretty much across the nation people were involved with this, and everybody wanted it, praying for this child that he would make it to Christmas, and the kid unfortunately did not. But my whole thing is that would be what you describe as healing energy, and out of a whole nation of people, albeit they're not Reiki masters, but you
Or
would
just
think,
prayer works.
yeah, exactly. And so in other words, it's like a little bit of trickle per person, I guess, given that, but it would still be a trickle, and 1 billion people trickling would be like a huge waterfall cascading.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, if that works, how come that didn't work?
Because with the pre-human existence thing, we write our blueprint for each life before we come down. And when it's that person's time to go, it's their time to go. Healing energy, you got to remember, because death is viewed only as a transformation.
Yes.
It's not considered a bad thing or a disease.
So then what would be the point of healing anyway? Because if it's their time to go,
if it's their time to go, they're going to go regardless of whether you send Reiki or not. What Reiki will do will make them comfortable. It will make that transition easier. It will benefit them in whichever way they're going, because nobody's free will can be invaded. And if you do invade someone's free will,
but that's more of not free will. That's more of a deterministic view where everything
But
is already predetermined. what's going to
Well,
happen. In other
but
words, if
by
it's your time
that
to
individual and their plan they wrote with the creator, God,
go,
or
but
whatever.
even so, that would mean that it's like free will there, but it's deterministic here, which would be still deterministic.
Only in a sense because what's deterministic is what happens. Your free will is how you deal with it. It's your reaction to the event.
So what happens when raising of the dead occurs?
When raising of the dead, ask Jesus, he did it. Worked out fine.
Well, see, that's kind of a bit of a flaw in that, though, because if it's their time to go.
Because when I think of raising dead, I think of zombies and I think of biochemical warfare.
Well, no, if you
Because
think about
with Reiki, if Reiki were to raise life, like Jesus did, raise a body from the dead,
Yes.
it's going to restore them in perfect form.
But that's not the biblical account that you say you claim to have been true but incomplete. The biblical
Which-
account that he raised Lazarus from the dead, and he raised this other girl that was a centurion's daughter who died.
Yeah, and
And
raised
he said,
yeah,
your daughter lives, go home.
yeah,
And the daughter was alive.
right.
And she was not a zombie, going, oh.
Yeah, I'm talking
whatever.
about two different things when I talk about that. When you talk about raising people from the dead, that was my first thought. Is
Oh,
what I
okay,
was talking
okay,
about.
sorry.
Is zombies and
Okay.
biochemical warfare, and that's what I think of when you talk about in general.
Yeah,
bringing
I'm just
life.
talking about, like, in the
But-
case of Jesus Christ, was he raised from the
Yeah,
dead.
he made them back to their perfect form, from what I understand from those stories.
Yes.
But then when he manifested, like when
When he
if
was,
he didn't die on the cross and he walked out of the tomb, he was in physical form, but actually used the healing energy to change his form from physical to surreal, like to ethereal. I should say not surreal, ethereal.
Social New Testament.
But the thing is that with all that, okay, first off, I believe that Jesus died, and I believe there's tons of evidence to suggest that Jesus died. Archaeologists, well-respected archaeologists, actually show that Jesus did live. There are whole arguments whether he was God or not, blah, blah, blah.
But if he did die, he could have raised himself from the dead in bed, right?
How so?
Well, why not? If he rose from the dead anyways, and he rose everybody else from
But
the
see,
dead.
the whole thing is that's
So that makes even more sense
No,
for
it
me
doesn't.
then.
It
Okay,
makes
so
no sense.
if he rose from the dead regardless,
if you're dead,
why
how
did he
can
not
your
just
brain be
raise from the dead?
functioning?
He's God, though.
Yeah.
No, well,
According to you, his
yeah,
brain
but
is-
no, we're arguing the fact that he's not God, which is what she's
I don't
postulating.
believe he's God either.
I
I'm just
know.
saying what you
But personally, that's my explanation.
Right.
We're going by her explanation of healing. In other words, it's saying that he wasn't God, he was just a healer.
Okay, so I got you.
So my question to her
But
is
you
if he
gotta
wasn't
remember, I
God,
believe we're all God, and I believe we're all parts of God, and all that. If we're going back that far, I wasn't
Okay.
taking it back that far. I thought we were just simply saying, healing energy, raising life from the
yeah,
dead.
that's what I'm saying. That all this has to connect somehow. In other words, you can't have this and then it's just, randomly throw this out. Okay, here's this. It'll have to be
As
together.
far as what? What are we
For
doing?
healing, no, we're not throwing out anything. I'm saying that healing and Reiki and all this other stuff, the healing energy, and then the fact that you believe that we're all God, and the fact that all your beliefs, if they're not coherent with each other, then because that's saying Jesus was an everyday human.
What's
Well,
not
how is that not
coherent?
coherent with
Because we're
faith or religion? Because it's called Reiki.
no,
It's not
that's
called Islam or Christianity. I agree.
because
but I
my
believe
belief is that
true.
it's immaterial. I don't believe it's actually matter. That does. I don't believe God is material. I believe He's immaterial. He is outside this universe.
He is material.
No,
I
he's
believe
not.
he's
If
part of
God
the
is a
universe. I
spirit.
believe for him.
No, that's manifestation.
But
and
if
material.
spirits do
Right.
exist, they
That's-
have to be made out of subatomic particles.
No, they don't.
Everything is light.
No.
Everything, yes, and what isn't light is a lack of light.
Outside this universe, okay, if we're talking about this universe was created, and there's great scientific evidence to support this, that this universe was created, there's different theories. You've got the multiverse theory, and then you've got, different religious views. The multiverse one is the one that atheists normally will cling to, and that is the idea that the universes are like bubbles bouncing around in this, kind of thing. But whatever outside this universe is really is unknowable, basically. Whatever it is,
I
it's
believe
not,
it is
it's
the basic
timeless.
element of what we're made of, because if we were made in the mirror image of God, then
But
we
not in
have to-
physical terms. That's not what the Bible's saying when it says
Yeah,
that.
but even in the spiritual realm, if a spirit does it, if our souls do exist, they have to be of light.
Yes,
like
but-
they have to
but
be
God
made of
is- no,
subatomic particles.
no.
And if our souls are made of subatomic particles, then that has to be a basic.
Why
part
does
or
our
form
souls
of
have to
God.
be made of subatomic particles?
If they exist,
No.
yeah. why
There are
not?
plenty of things that exist that are not material.
Why, just because they're not material, why do they not then exist? sense.